Oh, all right. We are officially live on YouTube through StreamYard now. Hopefully that will get recorded. Are we live on all these things over here? All right, we're going live on everything. We've got quite the setup here. Kevin's hanging out. We got, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, at least 4 things recording. Yes, what's up, everyone? Glad to be here. We got another podcast with the duo. We're going to be talking about a couple different training principles today, and they sort of all relate to how you can be really intense in your workout. Intensity is the number one missing factor in most people's workouts. It's going to give you some good gains. Welcome to the podcast, Kevin.
What's going on? I just turned the YouTube video on, got the Sony recorded, nice. And we're going to talk about a super important methodology that a lot of people are missing in their training routine. You know, they're getting the diet right, they're getting the sleep right, they're getting their steps in, but in the gym, they are really missing this one factor. And I honestly feel like there's too much value in this video because if you do this one thing, you are going to succeed. And you can outwork a bad strategy because it's basically what I did on my come up in the just building my physique over the years. But you pretty much feel the same way about progressive overload, man?
Yeah, absolutely. Progressive overload and intensity.
What's up, Maya?
With intensity, I kind of wanted to point at that same thing you mentioned briefly, that even on the come up, just intensity allowed you to create gains, even though you might have been screwing up some other things like diet. Because I had the exact same experience. Like, I can remember a time when I was working out and like going to QT and getting a fat blueberry muffin and like a sugary coffee. It's just the most garbage stuff. But we were having these really hard workouts and still getting awesome gains just because we were intense. And obviously you can't do that forever and, you know, really reach the major goals. But yeah, progressive overload is something I still do to this day. I like to like go up in steps and then go back like a little bit. Like maybe I go up 10% and go back 5%, and then I go up 10% over a series of weeks, go back 5%. So I sort of do it in these ways where I take steps back. Is that the same way that you approach progressive overload, or do you have maybe a slightly different approach?
Yeah, I mean, I was showing off on Heineken. I was zoning out. I was showing everybody I was drinking 0% Heineken since I got a beer can in my hand. But nice. I zoned out, bro.
Kevin's got 0%. I have 9.5%. 9.5.
Dude, the victories will fuck you up. I used to drink like 4, what's it called? Golden Monkeys. Oh shit. That's the worst hangover ever.
Dude, that's what I'm on right now is the Golden Monkey.
Drop some beer cans in the comments if you guys have ever experienced that.
That's excellent. I'm too deep for the UFC night. Yeah. Not an every night thing. UFC only.
Well, we always got brisket going on UFC night.
Yeah, dude. We got the point cut up into burnt ends right now, simmering away on low. Squeezing in this podcast real quick, not stirring them and all that, but it's going to be ready when we're done. And we got the flat still cooking. Yeah, that's right. That flat. Let's see what's in the house.
I was like, what is cooking in the kitchen, dude?
I had to wrap it in foil. We're at 189 for the flat, so we still got a little bit to go.
For sure, in the Rectech.
In the Rectech.
That professional smoke.
Smoking away.
But yo, what I see in the gym, most of the time, people are not bringing the intensity. And they're also doing shitty routines. And, you know, I get it that some of y'all want to be self-made and do it on your own, kind of do it your own way, because I completely understand. You know, that's exactly my fitness journey. I was like, I'm going to do it my own way. And basically, you could be doing the wrong routine and shooting yourself in the foot. And you're not even consistently, frequently practicing progressive overload at scale. We're talking every fucking time you enter the gym, you are constantly doing something to intensify your workout. And a lot of people, they're neglecting this aspect, and it is a huge variable for optimal muscle development, for sure. So it comes down to pushing yourself every single time, you know. But if I had to go back and start over, like, it would be completely different, right? Like,
oh, absolutely. It's like that old cliche, you know, I mean, you know, hindsight's 20/20 when you have how much experience do I have now? Almost 16 years. I mean, I feel like I could get to where I am now in maybe like 4 or 5 years, knowing what I know now. But speaking to the intensity, as a trainer in the gym, this is absolutely the number one thing that I see missing from people's workouts. And this trade-off that I see that I hate to see, but I see it all the time, is people try to like get in some low intensity cardio or have like this longer hour and a half workout. But when they do that, their intensity drops so much to like a 60%, 50% maybe, instead of just doing what they can do at that really high range of intensity, max effort. Definitely no less than 70% for anything, and really trying to get higher than that.
And you're gonna burn more calories anyway. Like the cardio is kind of stupid. Like you guys have seen my physique lately. It's pretty lean, right? I don't do any cardio. Like 100% you can do no cardio and shed pretty much all of your stubborn fat with the, optimizing every single, like what I like to say, pillar of the gains. Like there are so many factors that play into this, even like sleep. Like if you can get 8 to 9 hours of sleep per night, you're in the best position to not only have a great day, but you're going to optimize muscle development and fat loss. So if you want to get even more gains, I'm talking, you got to take everything to the next level. And that means a ton of categories. But, I got it pretty dialed in. It's kind of a lifestyle now. And I have really no trouble staying shredded year round.
Oh, sorry about that. That's the brisket timer.
Yo, the brisket's done, bro.
The brisket's gonna have to wait,
sure.
I guess, because we're talking about progressive overload. We're talking about pushing ourselves every time, keeping that intensity high, getting jacked. Man, that timer really reset me. Do you remember the last thing you said?
No, my earpiece just died.
Oh, so you got a new earpiece in there.
Yeah, I just switched my earpiece, but yeah, I was having technical difficulties over here.
Oh, I remember what it was that you were saying while you're fixing that. You were saying that it's not even that hard for you anymore. You've been grinding on it for so long, keeping that intensity is almost natural to you. Which I sort of feel the same way. I mean, I definitely have my days like where I drink 2 coffees and stare at my home gym like, all right, when am I going to start this? But when I do start, I fucking go. And that's huge.
Those are the worst mornings when you're like, because I work out in the morning now, and sometimes when I don't want to do it, man, it's just fucking, it's hard. But I do it anyway. Every time you overcome your mind, it's easier and easier every time. This is why I'm pretty much relentless consistency, like every single day, because I just broken past that threshold. My pain threshold is high. It's just, I'm used to this shit, and anyone can get to it because pretty much an average person, but it comes down to pushing yourself every single time, right? We're talking not 20 pounds, 30 pounds, just add like 5 pounds to the bar, use those 2.5 pound plates, like add weight to the bar, add 5 pounds to the dumbbell every single time. We're talking every single set of every single exercise, and then a crazy thing happens after you practice high volume and target multiple angles. There's a compound effect on the muscles and you reach a higher level of fatigue. And that's what we're looking for. If you guys aren't sweating hard, panting in between sets, and wondering to yourself, what the hell did you do to yourself at the gym? You didn't have a good workout, but that is what you got to do at scale every single time, and you're going to get amazing results. This is a number one missing factor that people are missing. They're too easy. They're doing the same weight. A lot of my clients have this problem. Because they enter the program, and I'm like, oh, this is what you're doing wrong. You're never increasing the weight. Just add a little bit of weight every single time. Don't be afraid that the reps go down to 6 reps. You don't have to stay constricted in 12 to 15 reps. Please don't do fucking 12 to 15 reps, people. Like, it's even more efficient when you add some weight, spend less time in the gym. So it is advantageous to use challenging weight and then increase it every single time. And this prevents injury. If you just load the weight and go for your 1 rep max on the second set, which I used to do, that's when I snapped the most shit. Yeah. So when you build up to it, go less intensity on the ones leading up to it, but you have to ease that muscle group into attacking heavier weight. How many times have you squatted and next thing you know, you can do 10 sets? It's because your legs are warmed up. So the same goes for every muscle group. Once you warm it up and ease in the weight, you can do even more weight. And if you practice a bunch of other techniques, you're just going to get that much result, even more human growth hormone, induced from the training.
Yeah. Before we get too far, I was just curious to try picking up the soundboard to see if it ends up working for the live stream. So let's give it a shot. You can't hear that, can you?
No, I don't have
anything. Okay, I wasn't sure if it was just going through the computer or just my speakers. So let's see if that pops up in the live stream. Hopefully that was a nice celebratory air horn for all Kevin's points on keeping the intensity high. I think Kevin's absolutely right. And you had a great point in the middle of that. I'm not even sure if you realized you maybe or not. Panting between sets. That's going to be one of your key indicators that you kept the intensity high. Especially if you're doing a full body exercise like squats or deadlifts. I mean, you should basically have to like collapse on the floor or sit down afterwards from how tired you are doing that set.
That's music to my ears.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, exactly. Exactly.
I'm like, yeah, that kind of intensity. 10 out of 10 RPE, rate of perceived exertion. Like, you got to rate yourself every single time. Was that a 10 out of 10? Are you pushing as hard as you could every single set and increasing the weight every single set to reach that level of fatigue? Like, this is how you really grow, but people just, they kind of don't have it in them to achieve it. It takes some practice, but you get used to it. You make every training day pretty rewarding and pretty much getting those gains.
Yeah, absolutely. And there's a scientific reason you need to do this too. You need to fully evacuate your cells of all the ATP that's within them. And that's going to trigger your body to, make more muscle cells and release growth hormone, release testosterone, and release adrenaline. All things that are going to help you burn glycogen and fat and stop storing fat and stop storing glucose as glycogen.
Yeah, you got to kill it, burn those calories.
And when you kill it, you don't have to work out as long either. And that's going to help, prevent injury, save time.
No, seriously, you try to cram all your training in like 45 minutes. Sometimes we rush for time. You end up feeling even more sore. You end up looking in the mirror and looking at the chest, and you're like, I got a better pump than my average training. How many times does it happen? It's because you're achieving that level of fatigue, that type of high volume training in a very short amount of time. So you get there at a quicker rate. But, if you got some time, do some supersets, add some weight every single set. Like a superset that will really get your chest pumped is doing just regular incline dumbbells and then doing flies right after it. Do them nice, controlled, extend the time under tension. And then back in the day when we used to train like all the fucking time, we had like a habit of going full range of motion for the last couple reps. So it was like we had the most intense reps at the end of the set because that's what it's all about. You got to do the amounts of sets to get near failure, and then the two leading up to until failure, they better be the best form you got, even slower than before, like going all wingspan of the flies to get just the most growth. We're talking human growth hormone and testosterone, and then especially if you got your hormones regulated to pump even more, you're going to be in the best position to grow optimal muscle. I mean, that's the name of the game. Like, if you got your hormones in control, the best thing for you to do is go lift some weights because you're primed for muscle building. Yeah. So do some supersets, incremental weight increases, time under tension, and then full range of motion. These are all ways to intensify every single set of the training because it's a compound effect. You got to do multiple different angles and get high levels of fatigue across the board. This is how you get the 3D effect. All the angles playing together to give you the most pump in bro terms.
Yeah, absolutely. pump may not be the most scientific term, but
We all know what's the scientific term, bro? I know you know some shit.
I'm not sure what scientific term I would put instead of pump. All the blood flowing to the muscles. I mean, I guess the closest thing I can think of is vasodilation. Yeah, exactly.
We're scientists over here. We are dissecting the human body to get the most gains. But hopefully that made sense, y'all.
Yeah. I think supersets are great. I think they're good for all training modalities. Like Kevin obviously does a little bit more bodybuilding style. Supersets are one of the prime modalities for getting hypertrophy, and especially cramming in for a workout. You can do whatever chest and back at the same time, or whatever the combo. It's great for max strength training too, and you have to take these long 3 to 5 minute rests between big heavy sets like your deadlifts or your squats. You can go get some accessory work done. But sometimes supersets are always going to be good. I also wanted to touch on, you mentioned how going slow is important. Why is going slow important? When you go slow, you're going to work the stabilizing muscles a little bit more. So if you're doing a bench press, it's like shoulders, lats, things that are keeping your arms from shaking. So just a little point on that.
That's very true. Just holding it in place at a slower motion, at an awkward part of the positioning or the movement is going to get you even more gains. We're talking just achieving that maximum fatigue to grow the muscle optimally. But yeah, it's pretty much all we got for y'all.
Yeah, hitting that full range of motion, get some supersets in there to save time, don't spend too much time in the gym, and keep shit intense.
45 minutes. Fit the whole workout in 45 minutes challenge.
Maximum.
Drop some fire emojis in the comments if you're going to do 45-minute death challenge this week, 5 times this week. 4 days minimum, but go for 6 or 7 days per week. More gains. And then all progressive overload every single fucking day. Tell me you won't get results. All right, y'all. It was fun.
Oh, man, you know what I realized we forgot to do? I don't think I told you this, but we're supposed to do mid-roll ads to plug everything that we have, and I guess advertisers like to see that. That's a big thing for getting advertisers. So we should have plugged our social medias and all that. So for you guys still listening, I am at Matt Carter Fit on pretty much everything, and then just Matt Carter on Facebook. And Kevin is original_Gainstas, GAINSTAS, original_Gainstas, GAINSTAS. Thanks for joining us, guys. I think that is it. Have a good day and go fucking crush some shit. Get jacked.